The other day in Soldiers Square, a panoramic hillside burial plot in Rose Hill Cemetery, I was looking for an angle on a Memorial Day story, maybe a piece about a little-known hero, or perhaps a take on the hallowed setting overlooking the Ocmulgee River there, when a dead soldier's name caught my eye. Nathan Angel. It had a valiant ring and sounded, well, straight out of the Civil War, which it was. All Nathan Angel's tombstone said was that he served in a Confederate regiment from Kentucky. His grave bore no date of birth or death. When I returned to the newspaper office, I typed his name into an archive that lets us view articles dating back to 1860 as they appeared on the printed page. The archive, searchable using any word you want, is a trove of local history. Nathan Angel's name was there, in tiny print. It appeared in a 3-column list in an April 1878 edition of the Georgia Weekly Telegraph and Journal and Messenger, on the eve of a monument dedication at the cemetery a dozen years after the war. In the small hand-set type of the day, Angel's name doesn't stand out much. What does stand out is the length of that list, the 585 names in that ancient news clipping, names of fallen soldiers from Georgia and other southern states who died in the U.S. Civil War in 1863 and 1864, all of whom were buried at Rose Hill. While there are cemetery records noting the burial plots and locations of the Civil War's fallen, this list hasn't seen the light of print since 1878. It, along with the short essay that accompanied it in the newspaper then, seems a fitting salute, not just to those who died in the war between the states, but to the military men and women who have sacrificed their lives ever since. Even in the often overwrought, almost hymnal prose of the time, it reads reverently enough, and I'll try to do it justice here. Once more do we sorrowfully search the archives of the war and bring forth to view that treasured scroll upon which is inscribed the immortal names of the Confederate dead who sleep in our midst. With life and hope and courage, they moved among us, our noble sons, sires, brothers, husbands, and lovers, animating all hearts with their enthusiasm. Today, let us read this long list and recall the name of every hero anew.